So let's try that. Baker, stop it. No, stop it. Stop it. This is very silly. Yeah, how many fights have you been in? That's it. You calm down. There's a good dog. Good dog.
So, what did you think? Are you wondering whether Ian just rewarded Baker for fighting? If so, you would not be alone. It's easy to look at that video and see Ian praising and petting Baker shortly after his little scuffle with another puppy and think that Ian's feedback is reinforcing Baker for scrapping and is going to lead to Baker getting into more of these puppy fights in the future. And while this sort of puppy scuffle is actually quite harmless, as I explained in our last video with Baker, it's not the sort of behavior we want to encourage. Fortunately, I'm happy to report that Ian's feedback did not reinforce Baker for scrapping and that he soon learned to play nicely with other pups. But how can that be? In the video, Baker gets into a scrap, and then, shortly thereafter, Ian clearly praises and pets Baker. Surely that must be reinforcing the fighting, right? Well, the key factor here is timing. When you are training a puppy or dog, one of the most important things you can do is give the dog feedback that lets the dog know if they're doing something you like or something you dislike. But how does the dog understand what your feedback is for? Dogs don't understand language like we do, so you can't tell your dog, I'm giving you a treat because you did a nice sit-stay, or I'm giving you a timeout because you got into a fight. No, the only way to get your dog to make a connection between your feedback and their behavior is to give them immediate feedback about what they are doing at this very moment. You can get away with being 1 or 2 seconds late, but any more than that, and your dog simply will not make the desired connection. If your dog pees on the carpet, and then you notice 5 minutes later, and you yell at your dog, they will have absolutely no idea that you are angry about them peeing on the carpet. How could they? Instead, they'll think you're angry with them for whatever they are doing when you yell at them, which is a shame because odds are they probably won't be doing anything wrong. And it doesn't take 5 minutes. Studies have shown that if more than 3 seconds go by between a dog's behavior and an attempted punishment or reward, the dog will make no connection and learn nothing. That's right, just 3 seconds. If your dog did something more than 3 seconds ago, it's ancient history. It's water under the bridge. You can't do anything about it. So, when you're training a puppy or dog, you need to look at what the pup is doing right now and let your pup know how you feel about their current behavior. So, with that in mind, let's watch that first clip again. But first, I just want to say that if you're interested in learning more about the concepts in this video, you should subscribe to our channel and then head over to dunbaracademy.com to check out our many free courses, including our free puppy training course and our free dog-dog reactivity course. Okay, and with that, let's take another look at the clip. While Baker is fighting, Ian tells Baker to stop it as he pulls Baker off of Finn. Ian doesn't like what Baker is doing, so he lets him know. He doesn't yell at Baker because he doesn't need to. This gentle but firm verbal and physical correction does the job, and Baker immediately stops fighting. Now at this point, it has been more than 3 seconds since Baker did anything that we didn't like. For the past 3 seconds, Baker has been standing, stationary, not fighting, not struggling, just letting Ian hold him. This is good. We like this. So now Ian starts praising and petting Baker. At this point, there's no benefit in trying to punish Baker anymore for the undesirable behavior that occurred 5 seconds ago. If Ian was mean to Baker at this point, it would make Baker dislike Ian, but wouldn't have any effect on Baker's feelings towards his scrap with Finn. Here, I'll let Ian explain.
Baker, stop it. No, stop it. Stop it. This is very silly. Yeah, how many fights have you been in? That's it. You calm down. There's a good dog. Good dog. So the more you praise him for being good and calm now, the more that now compares to when you shouted at him instead. Quit it, you worm. That's all. He's not being a naughty dog. He's just, thinks he can scrap with everyone. So we praise him, good dog. And you'll find to get him calm, you can let go of the collar, you rub his chest and his ears, and then you say, go play, then you follow him. Good boy, there's a good dog, Baker. Good dog, good dog. Keep praising him. Good boy, good boy.
So when your puppy or dog is doing something you don't like, it's essential that you let them know immediately and get them to stop as quickly as possible. And you don't need to be mean or scary if you can get them to stop with gentle restraint and a disapproving tone. Hurting or scaring a pup in this situation would only give the pup a reason to dislike you, dislike the situation, and in this case, dislike the presence of other dogs, all of which would be counterproductive to what we're hoping to achieve here. And when your puppy goes back to doing what you like, or they simply stop doing what you don't like, you can start praising them. This makes it very clear to your pup which behaviors you like and which you dislike. And this is where your voice is such a powerful tool, because you can easily use your voice to give your dog instant feedback about what they're doing in this moment. Dogs don't understand words easily, but they sure understand tone. If you yell at your dog, they'll know you're angry. If you grin and praise your dog, they'll know you're happy. And if you put on a huge smile and tell your dog they're the best dog in the whole wide world, they'll know you're extremely happy. And if you watch your dog interact with other dogs and you give them immediate feedback that lets them know how you feel about what they are doing at this very moment, and you don't give them any reason to be afraid of you or other dogs, they will quickly learn to behave nicely around other dogs. But you don't have to take my word for it. We can show you. This was Baker's 4th fight in class. He had 1 in his first week, then he had 2 fights before this in the second week, and this, his 4th fight, ends up being his last. By week 3, he has learned how to play nicely with other puppies, without anyone getting scared or upset. And, just as importantly, he has learned how to tell if another puppy wants to play with him. As you can see, Baker is trying to engage Finn in some bouncy, rough and tumble play, but Finn's not really into it and he doesn't reciprocate. But Baker recognizes that and moves on. It's exactly what we want Baker to do in this situation. We really couldn't ask for better, more appropriate behavior. Good boy, Baker. Now, here's another clip of Baker and Finn from later class. At this point, Baker doesn't even really try to engage Finn in the sort of roughhousing that he enjoys with other pups. Instead, they just sniff each other. It's nothing special, but that's precisely the point. Again, this is exactly what we want Baker to do. He's being a perfect little puppy. Good boy, Baker. Also, it's worth noting that Finn, the other puppy, is totally comfortable around Baker. They're not playing together like Baker and Sequoia from our last video, but they're happy to sniff and greet each other. It's not like Finn was traumatized or terrorized by their earlier scuffle. So, Baker learned what we wanted him to learn. He learned to get along nicely with other pups. He learned to play gently, and he learned how to tell if other pups want a roughhouse with him. The feedback that Ian gave to Baker and Baker's other experiences in class didn't lead him to get into more fights. They helped him learn how to play appropriately. Praising Baker for good behavior worked wonders, even when it came shortly after he'd been in a scrap, because immediate timing is so important when you're training a puppy or dog. Okay, if you found this video to be interesting or informative, please like it and share it so that other people will see it too. And if you want to learn more about any of these concepts, you should head over to dunbaracademy.com, where you'll find free downloadable documents and free online courses about puppy training, dog-dog reactivity, and much more. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to learn more about dog training and behavior, make sure you visit dunbaracademy.com to check out our selection of courses, many of which are completely free. If you'd rather watch more of our videos here on YouTube, just click the links to the right, and if you want to follow us on social media, everything you need is directly below. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell for notifications.